Wrestling Escape Pods just before, and it always overruns. This week, I actually started the stream to start 10 minutes later. So obviously, I thought that would be enough, and clearly it wasn't. Really good, though. Really fun episode this week of the Wrestling Escape Pods. So if you are a regular viewer or listener of that, it should be a good one this week. We do our predictions for Elimination Chamber. So we do go through the card that's been announced so far. We break that down. We talk about it, go into detail on it. We actually talk a fair bit of wrestling again, like for, I think, about the 4th week running, which is amazing. So, yeah, good stuff. That's got its own channel, the Wrestling Escape Pod. So you can check that out, me and Tommy Toy Travels. So, yeah, that's where I was. So, apologies, but I am here now. Obviously, the news today, I saw about Jerry the King Lawler. That's awful news. Apparently found unconscious, I think, in a car park. Thankfully, he seems to have come around now. Apparently, he is not talking, but he is... I don't know that he's talking or, like, moving, but he is conscious. And obviously, it seems all a bit scary at the moment. So it seems like a stroke, I heard. So thoughts absolutely with him this evening. Hopefully he's going to make, obviously, a full recovery. But, yeah, thoughts very much with Jerry the King Lawler. So, yeah, awful. Feeling really... I mean, I know, like... It's weird, isn't it? But Jerry Lawler is someone that, when he passes away, because he's going to pass away eventually, when he passes away, that's one that's going to really bug me. Like, that's going to play on my mind a bit. I think because he is someone that from when I very first started watching wrestling, I think anyone that you've watched a lot of, when they pass away, obviously it has a bigger effect on you, more of an impact on you. And like... You know, when Razor passed away, that was, really, felt that one. You feel like, oh God, it feels like it's really weird. It's so hard to explain. Like, it's not like part of you goes as well, but like all those memories, and it's just really, it's weird. Yeah, it's weird. Like Jerry is one of those because Jerry was around on the very first Raws. So, and he was part of like WWE in '93. Well, he was part of it in 92, but I never used to see him in 92. He used to be on, like, their TV show, Tuesday Night Titans, I believe. He would do stuff on that, and he would do, like, stuff on their Wrestling Challenge or whatever as commentary. But we actually saw him getting into the ring and actually on the show as a wrestler in 93. Obviously, he would start his feud with Brett when he attacked Brett. And, you had Helen Hart and Stu Hart up in the box. And, he was just one of their big heels in 93. And I just remember watching a lot of him. I remember a Survivor Series with the King's Court, and it was him. And there was like some small wrestlers, midget wrestlers. I don't know what you're allowed to call them, little people. I don't know what the right terminology is these days. But like they used to do that. I mean, they seemingly wouldn't do that now, but they used to do that a fair bit back in the day. You had Doink and Dink, for example. Obviously, we had Hornswoggle, but like going back to like Survivor Series, then I think he took. I can't remember who he took on. It might have been Doink, Dink, Fink, and Pink against like Jerry Lawler and like his King's Court. So like I remember that, and obviously Isaac Yankem and all of this, and then like obviously you find out more about him. You find out he's one of the biggest names in Memphis. And then you find out about Andy Kaufman and all that kind of stuff. Like he is so much more than just the voice of the Attitude, or one of the voices of the Attitude Era. Him and JR. I would imagine that's how a lot of fans know him. A lot of fans know him as being like the voice of the Attitude Era along with JR. And he was, and he killed it, and it was amazing. But I know him more from when like 93 and like when he was doing the feud with Brett and the Kiss My Foot match and all that kind of stuff. And there'll be people in our community that will know him from when he was feuding with Andy Kaufman. They'll know him from Memphis. I don't know him from that time, to be honest. I mean, I probably could now, but obviously growing up in England, I didn't have visibility on that kind of content. So yeah, that was stuff that I never got a chance to really see. I've seen, obviously, loads on the Andy Kaufman stuff. Watched the film, Man on the Moon, and Saw the follow-up as well. Saw how Jim Carrey treated Jerry Lawler. Like, Jim Carrey got into character as Andy Kaufman, really started to hate on Jerry Lawler. And there's a whole film that shows what was happening during the making of Man on the Moon and just how Jim Carrey was genuinely like terrorizing Jerry the King Lawler. Even when the cameras aren't rolling, Jim Carrey is in character, like shaking Jerry Lawler's trailer, hurling abuse at him. And there's no film. They're not filming. It's just that Jim Carrey has got into the role of Andy Kaufman. And Jerry Lawler keeps saying, like, me and Andy were friends. Like, everything we did together. Even though on TV it looked like we hated each other, we came up with all the ideas together. And, like, Jim Carrey wasn't having it. So, yeah, it's amazing. So, you know, when you find out that Jerry the King Lawler's obviously in a bad way, yeah, it's so strange. So strange. Because you don't know him. I don't know him. I've never met him. But, like, you do, like, come on, you want proper rooting for him, you know what I mean? Come, pull through this. Yeah, and we saw him not that long ago, I think, on commentary. Was it Raw 30? He was on commentary for a match. He came out, I think, during the DX segment, went on commentary. Seemed really good, seemed healthy. Everything seemed fine. And now, obviously, you find out that news today. So, 100%, like, thoughts with Jerry the King Lawler at the moment. Can you give an update on Jerry Lawler? I mean, we can have a look. To be honest, I've just been filming the Wrestling Escape Pod, so I haven't seen anything in the way of an update. But let's have a look, see what's being reported. Hashtag Jerry Lawler is trending. Producer agents, nothing on Fightful. Let's go to Wrestling Observer. As we said, as far as we know, what I've read is that he is responsive. Here we go. Hall of Fame, Jerry. So this is 4 hours ago. This is the latest, 4 hours ago. Jerry the King Lawler suffered a medical emergency on Monday and is recovering in a Florida hospital. Florida TV station Action News 5 first reported the story. They said the 73-year-old had suffered a stroke at Fort Myers, Florida home. And Dave Meltzer is reporting it is not a stroke, but a blood blockage to the right side of Lawler's brain. To be honest, I don't know what the difference would be there between a stroke or a blood blockage, but whatever. Meltzer's reported that Lawler was found outside his home, face down, and was rushed to hospital. As of now, there's no further update. Meltzer has said Lawler awoke from surgery and tried to talk, but he couldn't. And he doesn't have feeling on the right side of his body. Later in the afternoon, Dutch Mantel, so Zeb Coulter, Dirty Dutch Mantel tweeted that he has regained partial use of his arm, but his speech is still affected, but he is improving. Lawler's son, Kevin, is flying to Florida and is in contact with WWE. Lawler had heart issues and suffered a stroke in 2018. He suffered a heart attack during Raw in 2012 whilst on commentary that nearly killed him. He had competed in a tag match earlier that night. Memphis Legend was last seen during the Rumble pre-show, but hasn't been a regular on the Raw commentary team in several years. Even with his past health issues, Lawler was still active in the ring and worked indie shows. He last wrestled in January after a 2022 saw him wrestle 10 matches. So he actually wrestled in January of this year. I mean, it's just, people will look at it, understandably so, and they will say, like, he's crazy, he's mental, like, you know, fancy wrestling at his age, in his 70s, like, he needs to be stopped, all this kind of stuff. And I do not disagree with that, right? But he's a wrestler. It's in his blood. This is like what he is born to do. This is what all he wants to do. This is all he knows to do. This is his life. Like, he seemingly doesn't have that desire to stop. Doesn't have that ability to stop. I mean, whether this will do it, I don't know. But I think people like Lawler, people like Ric Flair, they just can't stop. They can't stop. They can have retirement matches. You know, Terry Funk was the same. Terry Funk had about 1 billion retirement matches. He just could not stop because they just love the business so much, and you worry for them and everything, but part of me massively respects it as well. Imagine loving the business. Imagine genuinely loving this so much that even in your 70s, you're still trying to go out there and put on a match for the people. I'd love to go and watch a Jerry Lawler match. Even with him in his 70s, I mean, I'd be worried for him, of course. But, like, still going out and entertaining people. No, I've got nothing but respect, man. Nothing but respect. He wrestled more than Brock last year, said Rock and Sock Connection. Did you hear that Joe Allen has retired? I didn't. No, I didn't. It's as I said, you know, I've seen the news about Jerry Lawler. I haven't seen much news today at all, actually. Saw the news on Jerry Lawler. I don't even think I've seen any other wrestling news. It's been another quite quiet day in the world of wrestling news. Obviously, tonight on NXT, we've got an interesting show, though. We've got Bayley doing Ding Dong Hello. I mean, that's going to be great. Really looking forward to that. So we've got Bayley doing Ding Dong Hello. I've got it written down, actually, as to what we've got. We've got Bayley. We've got Zoe Stark taking on Sol Ruca. We got Carmelo Hayes cutting a promo because he's got his sights set on Bron Breakker. And then we've got Lyra Valkyria taking on Valentina Feroz. Do you know, right, I have been really busy. I actually was so busy over the weekend. I think I actually shattered myself yesterday. Like, I was fine, like, during the stream, but towards the end of the stream, I was definitely feeling it. To the point where I didn't even get a chance to do the review. I tried to do the review. I just couldn't do it. I kept trying to do the voiceover. I kept trying to do, like, you know, the commentary for it. And I just kept making mistakes. Like, I would say something and then I'd be like, no, doesn't sound right. Or I'd fluff a line and then I'd have to go back and do it. And honestly, after about an hour and a half of trying to do a 10-minute voiceover, I was like, you know what? I'm going to bed. So I was absolutely out for the count yesterday by the end of yesterday's stream. I feel a lot better today. But long story short, what I've been doing is I've been looking back at last year and really, you know, I'd love to try and find the best matches of last year, the best moments, and kind of try and find a way of maybe doing that on a regular basis, you know? So, like, having a look at last year and then obviously explore that. And then by the time I've done that, hopefully this year will be done. And then I can do the same with this year. And that'll give us some, like, extra content for the channel. So I've been looking a lot at, like, things that happened last year. I've been watching some of the old shows, been watching some NXTs. I've really got a massive NXT bug right now because I've just hammered loads of the recent shows so that I can, like, you know, really remind myself, if you will, and make notes and everything of things that have happened. And I've just watched so much of it. I'm, like, genuinely so excited for tonight's show. I'm proper excited for it. Like, I really am looking forward to tonight because just, I think all those little nuances that when you're doing a watch along, they can sort of pass you by. Obviously, we have to have the sound turned down for copyright reasons. We also, you know, there might be a superstar that you're not really that bothered about that, like, okay, yeah, what do they want? And then, I don't know, perhaps, like, you know, they do a few things and, like, you go, yeah, whatever, like, you know. But, like, now, because I just sat there and watched it, I'm a bit more dialed into them. So, like, people like Valentina Feroz, never really been on my radar. Whereas now I sort of know that, you know, she wanted Sanga in a corner. Sanga let her down. She's really trying to, you know, find a groove. I just kind of found myself being in, like, a mindset now where I'm like, I'm quite looking forward to tonight's show, which is really good. So obviously we're coming out of Vengeance Day as well. Vengeance Day, I think, split opinion. I think Vengeance Day is one that people sort of enjoyed. A lot of people were saying, like, 7s, something like that ballpark. I think some of the results maybe had people kind of like, felt like they did Grayson Waller a bit of a dirty. I mean, not only did he get beaten, but you've got Braun standing over him, like, saying, this is my NXT, you know, and then basically putting him down like he killed him, took his legs out from under him. Not only did he beat him, but he was able to throw some verbal in there before he did. So I sort of feel like Grayson, what I'm looking for tonight is I'm looking for Grayson to bounce back. We've got to give him something. We've got to, right? Because this poor guy, I mean, he just got embarrassed in the main event. He gave a good fight, but to then have like the champ throw verbals at you and tell you this is his NXT and then to put you down. And now the champ's moving on to Carmelo. So where does this leave Grayson? I feel a bit sorry for him. So yeah, I'm looking and keeping an eye out for that. I really like Katana and Kaden. They've really come through for me since I've gone back and watched a load of old episodes. So they lost their titles, of course. We've got Fallon, we've got Kiana as champion. So what now for Katana and Kaden? So keep an eye out for that. What's Toxic Attraction going to say? What's Bayley going to say? I'm not expecting Mandy to get mentioned or anything, but like, what do Toxic Attraction do now? They seem a bit directionless. Like, they don't have Mandy, so they don't have that leader. They obviously competed not for the tag belts, but they competed for the women's title. They both got in each other's way. So, are there going to be ill feelings? Is Bayley going to bring them back onto the same page? I'm guessing she is. It's a shame, really, because do you know what? I sort of wish that it wasn't Io and Dakota in Damage Control. I wish it was Gigi and JC. I sort of feel that, like, Gigi and JC and Bayley as, like, the Damage Control faction, I think that would be better. I just think it would be better than what we've got at the moment with Io and Dakota. So I think they've got great potential, Toxic Attraction. I was not a fan of them at the start, but they've grown on me, just like quite a few people in NXT actually have grown on me. So yeah, I'm looking forward to tonight. I think Caden Carter will turn on Katana Chance. Oh my God, I'd be so sad if that happens because both of them are on the small side, and I do think that size is a factor. We spoke about this with Roxanne. I really like Roxanne in the ring. I do worry about her size. Like, I do look at her compared to Elektra Lopez, compared to Indy Hartwell, compared to some, like, the vast majority of women are bigger. Roxanne is not only small, but she looks young as well. It's one thing to be small. It's another thing to look like you're about 12. That is the only criticism that you can have of Roxanne, really, because in ring, she's brilliant. She's great in ring. She's great. Like, I'm not going to say anything else. Like, she is someone that I think has got great potential. I don't know if we've just moved a bit too quickly on her. I don't know if we've gone a bit too fast right now. Something doesn't feel quite right to me about Roxanne. I think I needed to see more matches out of her before they've given us so much. She won the breakout tournament. She won the tag titles. She's now the champion. She only debuted, like, was it in the summer? She's only been around 6 months. I mean, when has someone had such a meteoric rise like this? She's been in the Royal Rumble. I mean, they are just in love with her. Absolutely in love with her. She's great. She's a great talent. She's great in the ring. But, yeah, I want to see something. I want to see a good feud. I mean, her and Cora, I thought was good. I thought that was a decent feud. I want to see some good feuds now with her as champion. I don't know who's going to be next now. I don't know who's going to step up to Roxanne now. Looking forward to finding that out tonight. But I do have a concern with her because of, like, her size. And the same concern would be with Katana and with Caden as well. Both of them are really small. Katana in particular, she's not just small. She's thin. She is able to do, like, that very impressive aerial stuff, though. But again, that's only going to get you so far. Like, you come up against a powerhouse like Rhea Ripley. You come up against someone like Raquel Rodriguez. You come up against, like, Elektra Lopez. Like, these big women that are around. Not even big women, just normal-sized women. Like, it's going to be a barrier. It is going to be a barrier. It is going to be a problem. I sort of feel like together, not only do they obviously complement each other very well, they've got, like, really good chemistry. I really like their gimmick as well, with them, like, dancing their way down and, like, sometimes they're in the crowd. Sometimes they've got those smoke machines. They look like girls that want to go out and have fun. Like, I totally believe that gimmick is an extension of who they are. I think they work well as a team. I think the main roster needs women's teams. Yeah, oh God, I'd be so sad if they did split them up. I just think they're they're stronger together than they would be individually. I would worry about them as solo stars. I would worry about them. Roxy was Ring of Honor champion. Wasn't expecting her to. I thought Angelina Love would win it. Yeah, I mean, God, she's won so much. She's like the youngest, whatever Booker's company is. She was the youngest women's champion there at like the age of 16. Then she went to Ring of Honor, won the belt there. Then she came to WWE, and I mean, they just love her. Everywhere she goes, they just love her. But don't get it twisted. This isn't a let's all throw shade at Roxanne thing. Absolutely not. I do like her in ring, and she is because of the way that she's presented. She comes across as like being this next big star, like, and the parallels to AJ Lee. I keep seeing people tweeting out saying like, the mother and the daughter, and it's a picture of AJ and then it's a picture of Roxanne. But as we said on Saturday, AJ did have that twisted side to her mentality. It's one thing to be small and unpredictable and dangerous and mysterious. Like, you think about, that's what they're doing with Alexa. So Alexa's on the smaller side, but, they've made her Playground Alexa and a bit twisted, and they've gone with that. Look at what they've done with Nikki Cross. Nikki Cross, little sanity, little bit twisted, running down to the ring. When you're on that smaller side, just tends to be that, like, you need a little something to just give you a bit of an edge because you don't have it physically. We haven't done that with Roxanne. Roxanne's a little bit on the smaller sides, and we haven't made her like twisted or anything like this, but we're still like really getting right behind her. So, which is good. I mean, it's good to see, but I do just look at her and worry, like, well, how's she going to get on when she goes up against these big monsters? Like, how's she going to get on when she gets to the main roster and has to deal with Bianca Belair and Becky and Bayley and all this kind of stuff? Like, I don't know. I mean, to be honest, we might be a little way off worrying about that. But honestly, the pace that we're going, I mean, I feel like she's going to get called up next week. We're going so fast. She might have already been called up. I don't know. We're moving so quick with her. But anyway, getting back on track, I would worry for Katana and Hayden if we separated them. Just Nick said, Toxic Attraction are like Montez Ford and Dawkins. One is a better wrestler. The other one is better looking. Roxy is a bit too nice at times. Grayson Waller is suspended off TV for this week. He will probably be back next week. Just Nick said, are you still stuck in the Vince way of thinking where the bigger you are still stuck in the Vince way of thinking? I just think the airport test is real. I don't know. I just think that for me, wrestling has always been two people in a ring battling to figure out who the best is. From when I first got into wrestling, one of my very first thoughts when I watched wrestling was watching Big Boss Man against Nails and just thinking like, wow, this is how they sort it out in America. Like, this is mental. That's what I thought. I was like, this is how they like sort out their problems. I didn't know what wrestling was. I didn't know it was a show and that it was scripted and all this kind of stuff. Like, I was kid, fully signed up, like trying to work it out. This is how they do it. So for me, that's my background. And so for me, two people battling to be the best. So if you do have someone that is considerably smaller than the other person, I mean, I sort of feel that they go in as the underdog. And of course they can be the plucky underdog. The plucky underdog's only going to do it so many times. Do you know what I mean? You can only be the plucky underdog so many times. And then like, surely you're going to fall short. I just think that the size is a thing. I mean, in boxing, you've obviously got different weight classes. In MMA, there's different weight classes. You don't put the smaller people in there. We don't put Conor McGregor in with Francis Ngannou because that would be ridiculous. But like, wrestling doesn't have that. It doesn't. But like, Vince has sort of in a way sort of always had that. Like, there's always been a bit of a glass ceiling if you're a smaller person, if you're on the smaller side. I mean, I think there's definitely, I would never hold someone back from being a world champion. Like, I don't look at like Ray achieving the title and think, well, that was stupid, right? I mean, it was the right thing to do. Obviously, Eddie had passed away, and that's, why you got there, to be honest. I mean, I don't know that he would have got there otherwise. Eddie passed away and Ray got there, and it was the right thing to do. It's a big emotional moment. Amazing, right? It was the right thing to do. But as soon as he's coming up against the likes of Brock or whatever, I mean, he's dropping that belt. He's not going to be getting the better of Brock Lesnar. And like, if you look at like the big people in the company, like the big faces, it's always been Hogan. It's always been Stone Cold. It's always been, these kinds of people. I just think like the airport test is real. It is real. If you walk through the airport, would you turn your head as someone walks by? And I go, someone that's like smaller than you're not going to turn your head, are you? And part of that adds to their star power. So I don't know. I mean, is it controversial to say that? I don't feel like it is. I feel like that's what the wrestling business was always like built on. Wrestling business, you always had to have some sort of size about you in order to get in and actually be a part of it. You were either really big or really small. And now we've kind of gone away from that. And I don't mind that. I don't mind that because I look at people like Johnny Gargano, and I think he's brilliant. I really enjoy watching him. Look at Pete Dunne. I think he's awesome. Big fan of Bret Hart. Love Shawn Michaels, one of my all-time favorites. I mean, Shawn was no monster in the ring. But it's just, I think for me, a talking point. It's a concern. If you was to look at someone and go, what are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? I think if you're the size of Roxanne, it goes down as a weakness. It goes down as something that you wish she was that bit taller, that bit bigger, that bit more imposing, because she can go in the ring. And I've no problem with her being champion. And I've no problem with her going to the main roster. And I've no problem with her going to win the SmackDown title and the Raw title and things like that. But I don't know that I can see her getting easy victories over, Rhea Ripley, for example. Like, there has to be a limit. There has to be a barrier. There has to be like, she can't be the plucky underdog all the time, as I said. The plucky underdog would have to lose in order to be the plucky underdog. Do you know what I mean? If the plucky underdog is winning all the time, then she's not the plucky underdog. It's nothing to do with height. It's more to do with weight in UFC and boxing. If you weigh the same amount as someone, your height, you're fighting. Yeah, that's true. It is done by weight, but I mean, that does normally correspond with height. You don't tend to get like massive height differences if they're like weighing the same. So like, go by weight. I mean, honestly, I can't imagine that she's going to break the scales, is she? She's still going to come in really light. There's not much to her. So go by height, go by weight, same difference. She's small. Simple as that. Do you know that Scripps passes the airport test? Scripps, man. Because I've gone back and rewatched NXT, like I've seen like the Scripps stuff again. It's more awful than I remember. It's honestly, I mean, I think because at the time we were just laughing at it. It's more awful than I remember. And like, I think last we saw of Scripps, he was feuding with Ikemen after ripping up his jacket. So it feels like even NXT sort of abandoned the Scripps character. I mean, if you debut and then very quickly find yourself in a feud with Ikemen, you sort of already know that. I mean, not just a one-off match and that's it, but like, you've stole his jacket, you've attacked him after his match, you've ripped up his jacket, you're having a match, like, you're in a little story. It's probably not where you want to be as a character, is it really? If the Saudis buy WWE, their entrance theme should start with "Wrestling has only one oil," family says Kyle. Knight Rider said, I wonder how much money Stone Cold would offered to wrestle Brock. I'm sure it was 7 figures. Don't know. I must admit, that's not a match that I'm desperate to see. I sort of feel like if you've got Stone Cold and if you've got Brock, I mean, we don't know how long Brock's going to be around for. I would much rather that they go and face some like younger talent. You know, I mean, Brock versus Gunther, that excites me a lot more than Brock versus Stone Cold. And like, I don't know, you could do Stone Cold against Austin Theory, or Stone Cold against I'm trying to think of like a heel, a heel that could really do like Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross could do with that sort of a spotlight. I sort of feel like, you know, imagine Karrion being involved in like a feud. You know, you have Stone Cold on a few episodes of Raw, cutting some promos back and forth between him and Karrion, build up towards WrestleMania. Like, that would excite me a lot more than doing Stone Cold against Brock. I just feel like, you know, I mean, surely Brock just destroys Stone Cold. In this day and age, you know, Stone Cold, he looked a bit limited in the ring against Kevin Owens. So I feel like in this day and age, just destroy him. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not desperate for that match, to be honest. I'm much more interested in Brock versus Gunther. Much more interested. Man City have hired IRS and Saul Goodman to get them out of their current predicament. LA Knight against Stone Cold. Oh, man, that could be sick. That's a great shout. LA Knight against Stone Cold is a great shout. I mean, there's a lot of people that draw... Did I knock it accidentally? Maybe I knocked it. Perhaps when I moved the microphone, I accidentally knocked it. Do you know what's funny as well, though? Dark Angel just said, I don't want recognition, but I just want someone to benefit from the membership I gifted. So I literally was just like, okay, Dark Angel, recognition to you. And then I looked down and everyone's like, you're muted, you're muted. There's a conspiracy, Dark Angel. There's a conspiracy. It won't let me give you the recognition that you so rightfully deserve. Lol. Right, where are we? We are 5 minutes. 5 minutes to go. And we're working our way towards NXT this week. As we said, pretty excited for it. Ding dong hello with Bayley. Gonna be good. Carmelo Hayes promo. Sol Ruca taking on Zoe Starks. Lyra Valkyria taking on Valentina Feroz. Got that as well. So a couple of segments there, which I think are going to be good. David, hello. Shout out to you. Last we heard was when you started on LA Knight Stone Cold. Yeah, I was just saying, I'm totally down for that match. LA Knight isn't The Rock. A few people make those comparisons. He is a very good talker. But yeah, so much more into that than Stone Cold against Brock. I mean, Brock against Gunther, LA Knight against Stone Cold. Brilliant. Yeah, man. Sign me up for that. Sign me up for that. I mean, imagine the build. Imagine LA Knight like in a promo on Stone Cold, and the build for that could be so much fun. LA Knight did a great job with Bray. I feel it's interesting because like a lot of people have said that Bray kills careers. And apparently there's a lot of people that really didn't enjoy feuding with The Fiend, for example. I think Seth has come out saying like he didn't really enjoy it. I think Randy, maybe not so much The Fiend, but sort of The Fiend and Alexa. And that time, you know, Randy, I don't think really enjoyed it. It's nothing personal against them. It's just, it's really hard to come out with any momentum, you know? I mean, you are just going to go up against The Fiend and get destroyed, basically. And I think like they really struggle with it. But LA Knight has undeniably come out of this a bigger star. He's come out of it a bigger star. He's been in a high-profile feud. He's had some great promo segments. And I think that he elevated himself. So I don't think that concern that was there in the past about like The Fiend kind of burying people, that's not the case now. Like, this feud with Bray has been brilliant. So I would be totally down for LA Knight against Stone Cold. Daze was facing technical difficulties. Yeah. Technical difficulties in that I think I just literally pressed the mute button without even realizing. Calling it now, Tiffany Stratton as the new leader of Toxic Attraction. She is really good. She's such a good talk. She gets it. She gets it. I mean, she is someone that I believe she's got a gymnastics background. I don't believe she was someone that was a wrestler before she came into WWE. But they are doing a really great job at the Performance Center of really like getting these people up to speed with having the right mindset as well as being able to go out there and actually deliver what they need to deliver. Because, you know, she is someone that just really lives that character. Like, she comes in her promos, like, you know, she'll interrupt the interviewer, and she just seems to have that character down of being daddy's little girl, and very, very impressed with her character work. Her in-ring is all right as well. I mean, I must admit, like, taking athletes and trying to turn them into wrestlers was something that I was worried about. And I must admit, I do think that they've done a bit too much of it, because I think when you've got so many people learning how to be wrestlers at the same time, it does make for a weaker product compared to where NXT used to be. Having so many people now learning how to do this at the same time does mean that you've got a much greener crop of talent, right? But the Performance Center has shown itself capable of taking someone with an athletic ability, putting them through the process, and spitting out a superstar. I mean, to my knowledge, Bianca Belair was not a wrestler before she went to the Performance Center. I'm not aware of her being a wrestler. I believe she was an athlete. She was doing CrossFit. She was doing like different championships and things like that in athletics. And obviously she was looking after herself. She was athletic, but she wasn't a wrestler. And look at her now. I mean, absolutely top of the business. The Performance Center has proven itself that it can take people, train them up, spit them out. It's so impressive. So impressive that, you know, how good they are at doing that. And I feel like Tiffany Stratton is a great example. Tiffany Stratton is someone that immediately I'd look at and think, nah, I'm not going to like this girl. You know, daddy's little girl gimmick and all that kind of stuff. Someone that's not done wrestling before. You could easily get it wrong, but she portrays the character very, very well. And her in-ring is tidy. I mean, there's some nice little flashes in there, nice little moments. Yeah, I like her. I'm quite high on the current crop of NXT talent, actually. I'm quite high on him. I'm quite excited. I mean, Creed brothers, I think, look really good. And obviously they've got, you know, high hopes when it comes to Roxanne. Cora Jade, I think she's going to keep developing. Grayson Waller, I think, is fantastic. Carmelo Hayes is fantastic. Andre Chase and Chase University is really fun. So I sort of feel like, for me, a lot of these were really green when NXT 2.0 started. I must admit, there's large parts of when NXT 2.0 begin that I'm really struggling with, man. Really struggling with it. But fast forward 12 months, and we are in a really good place now. We're in a really good place now. So, yeah, coming out of Vengeance Day, legit looking forward to this. Perez is the NXT World Champion. She is. Is it on USA? It's on USA Network, yes. Hopefully, Lyra Valkyria turns heel and aligns with Zoe Stark. That could be interesting. Lyra is... I'm interested in her. I mean, I know I keep saying it, but I love her ring gear. The ring gear she's got where she just wears black and then red boots. Like, it's just... I really think when it comes to ring gear, you should be able to have a piece of paper in front of you, blank piece of paper, and you should be able to say to someone, right, draw me Fallon Henley's ring gear now. And you should be able to do it. Draw me Kiana James's ring gear now, and you should be able to do it, right? You should be able to draw out their ring gear because it should make that sort of an impression on you. And if you can't do that, then I would say their ring gear is failing, because it's not made the right impression. It's not grabbed your attention. And I really loved Lyra Valkyria's black with reds, because that made an impression on me. It caught my attention. I love that look for her. She doesn't wear it all the time, though, unfortunately, but I do love that look for her. In ring, she's pretty tidy, pretty good. Yeah, not really she doesn't really botch anything. You don't really see much variation when it comes to move sets. You'll get a few wrestlers, like Axiom, whatever, that'll give you some stuff you don't normally see. But by and large, they tend to keep things pretty standard, pretty basic. And she's good. Obviously, she's been spending quite a bit of time in NXT UK, hasn't she? So she's got all that experience to lean on. Maybe Shanky will return to NXT, said Knight Rider. Jojo said we want Thea. Yeah, obviously she's massively green. She's massively green. But the great thing with her is that she's in Chase U. She can be involved in matches and have Andre Chase and Duke Hudson at ringside. So even though you're watching her and she's really green, she's fantastic character, so much energy. Her in-ring is, needs a lot of work, of course. But I've just got no doubts that she's going to get there. Here's Bayley. Bayley's got her arm in a sling. Bayley arriving then with her arm in a sling. Ding dong, hello. Tonight, ding dong, hello with special guests, Toxic Attraction. I wish we had ding dong, hello on the main roster. I wish we had ding dong, hello. Right, here's Carmelo Hayes. Mellow, don't miss. Daze, did you see the Qatar family, who is worth 335 billion, want to buy United? It could be coming. LF, I haven't. No, James, that's amazing. How do we feel about that? Qatar. It's amazing, though. 335 billion. Think how many Old Traffords that would buy? Oh, if we're getting them, we're getting a new stadium. Surely. If we're getting them, we're getting a new stadium. I want a new stadium. Yeah. And all the Man City drama as well. Lol. I know we briefly just mentioned it yesterday, but to be honest, I was really feeling it by the end of that stream. Okay, here we go. Carmelo and Trick. Do you know, as a tag team, they could be called Trick and Treat. Right, Carmelo in the ring. Obviously, Carmelo made his presence felt. Okay, catchphrase time. Hello. Oh, look at those guys. There's a couple of girls in the crowd. I don't get what the catchphrase was. But a couple of girls. I think they're girls. Wearing Toxic Attraction attire. Can you see the GG and the JC in the crowds? That's really good. That's really good. They're really good. I like them. Right in the middle. I mean, I think they're girls. Don't know. Can't say. I am him, said Carmelo. Carmelo is NXT champ, or should be. There's one more man that needs to be put on the t-shirt. Oh, yeah. He's been wearing t-shirts of his victims, hasn't he? From Breaker. JD? Is this JD McDonagh? Yeah, JD coming out. Okay, so Carmelo was about to say there's one more man that I need to put on a T-shirt. And he was talking about Braun, but out comes JD. It sounded like you was about to challenge for the NXT title. You're from an entitled generation. You are the coolest member of the roster. But in this ring, you're not fit to hold my jockstrap. JD wears a jockstrap. Breaking news. You're not ready for the big title, and you're not ready to be the face of this brand, said JD. It's a shame they don't have a well-rounded blonde friend to join them in the cosplay. Need, is there? There is no well-rounded friend. Count your entrances, count your T-shirts. I'm counting body parts, said JD. I send people to the emergency room. Dial 911, tell them that you're coming. Okay, so feels like we're building towards JD Carmelo. No strange, isn't it? Heel versus heel. Game on, game on. Okay, well, we're getting it. Carmelo against JD. Guessing the winner of that will really put themselves in the shop window in regards to being the next to face Braun. I've got to think that Carmelo's winning that because we've already seen JD against Braun. Gunther may be too much for Breaker at the moment. Just saying, said Knight Rider. Oh, here's Fallon and Kiana. Fallon said she saw that they won those bouts through cheating. We're going to give him a rematch. I didn't know she was on the phone with someone. Surprise. Wow. Big surprise party for Fallon and Kiana. Walk into a room. Surprise. I don't know any of these people in this room, do I? Where have they got all these people from? All of them will be on WrestleMania 50. I didn't recognize a single person in that room. Right, here's Sol Ruca. Undercover Manager said he's going to go face. Did you hear Carmelo on Busted Open? He came across really well. No, sadly not. Busted Open's not part of my regular listening. Maybe it should be. Sol Ruca against Zoe Stark. So that I must admit that's passed me by. I missed this, where apparently Fallon caught Kiana on the phone to someone, and Fallon said, "Are you going to tell Jensen who you was on the phone to?" And there's a whole thing happening here, which has just completely passed me by. So either way, they walk into a room and surprise. I like the fact that Fallon said she watched the match back and saw that they cheated. There's not enough of that in wrestling. Not enough of that. There's not enough of something happening one week and then the person watching it back and then, it affecting the next week. It's like the wrestlers don't watch their matches. Looking at you, Bray. So, yeah, I don't mind that. I don't mind the fact because surely she would. She wants to relive that moment. She watched the match back, wanted to see that moment where, it got announced, wanted to hear what the commentators were saying. And then she saw that Kiana cheated. Yeah, totally can buy it. Lovely. She was on the phone to me, said Just Nick. I've turned her down. I'm sorry, guys. Guys, that is breaking news. That is breaking news. We got a scoop. Just Nick has turned down fake Stephanie. That is a shame. No wonder she doesn't want to talk about it. Fallon is going to turn heel soon, said Excellence of Execution. Don't know, to be honest. I don't know. She seems like a good old country girl. That's how she comes across to me. I mean, of course, you could always turn a heel, but I think I kind of like her with Briggs and Jensen. Are we at the point where we've done everything we can do with them? I don't know. Ruca is here to take your soul, said Vin. Have you seen SummerSlam's location was announced? I did. Can't tell you where it is. I saw that it was announced. But I mean, it's not London. To be honest, I don't really ever pay much attention to that because I don't think I'm really pulling for anywhere. Do you know what I mean? I think if I was in America, I'd be pulling for, where I live. But I'm gonna look. Detroit, the Motor City. It's going to be in Detroit. First, what's this? SummerSlam marks the first WWE event to be held at Ford Field since WrestleMania in 2007. First SummerSlam to take place in Michigan since '93. We are excited for that's the SummerSlam of Lex Luger, where he failed to beat Yokozuna. We are excited for the Ford Field to host WWE's biggest event of the summer. Looking forward to the universe converging in Michigan. Landing SummerSlam at Ford Field is a signature win for Detroit. Continues the momentum of the Detroit Sports Commission in attracting major sporting events to the region. Please for Detroit. Detroit could be Philadelphia, could be Seattle, could be Florida. I'm not really. I feel like I should be rooting for somewhere. You know what I mean? Be rooting for somewhere. Maybe there's somewhere that's never held. Has North Dakota ever held any? South Dakota is like anywhere that's never held one. Then we could start a petition. Justice for Ohio or something. I don't know. Dada has divorced Tessa. Oh my God, he should so get with Rhea Ripley. We need Dada and Mammy. Bring him in. Put him in Judgment Day. Boom. How can you have a wrestler called Dada and not put him with Mommy? Right, we've got Booker T and Vic Joseph. Well played, Priest. Still can't believe Dominic is the best on the mic in Judgment Day. Hey, here's the media call. Grayson having a pop at Sean. Oh, yeah, A-Train. Oh, yeah, it gets taken away. You want me to put hearts on my gear? Fun, innit? Grayson Waller suspended. I mean, I haven't seen that, to be honest. I need to see, like, was he saying... What was he angry at Sean for? Was he angry at Sean because of... Are we blurring the lines here? Is he angry at Sean because Sean booked Braun to win? When he's saying, like, how do I be your guy? What is that? What is the backstory to that? I'd heard. I haven't seen it. I'd heard about it, but I hadn't seen it. Let's go. Oh my god, the chat's going quickly. SummerSlam is going to be here in Detroit. Grayson Waller rudely interrupted Sean. Days, could Aleister Black work in Judgment Day if he was still in WWE? I wouldn't do that. I think you've got too many big established names in there now. I sort of think like Judgment Day was started to try and bring along some younger talent. Like Damian Priest was struggling. Dominic needed something to do, of course. Rhea wasn't necessarily struggling, but it's easy to forget she was just bobbing around in stupid tag teams. She was not at the top of the cards. So I sort of feel that Judgment Day has taken some promising talent, and like elevated them. I mean, I suppose you could make the argument that Aleister Black never really established himself on the main roster. To me, he would feel like too big for it. I suppose you could debate as to whether he is too big for it or not. Do you have high hopes for the tag division with what you've seen with the Creed brothers, Pretty Deadly and Ashir? Yes and no. I've got high hopes because I think the teams are there. But unless you change the booking, unless Triple H is going to actually... We've spoke before about like tag teams jobbing out for single stars. It's just not a good look for the tag division. And also, the fact that we just I don't know if we just don't have credible teams and we're trying to make them credible. It's not going to work. You look at like Los Lotharios, like they're not going to get anywhere. Alpha Academy are never going to really feel like that big of a team. I just feel like there's a lot of teams hit row. How far are we going to get with hit row? We're never going to get anywhere with maximum male models. I mean, they could be fun, but credible. I don't think we're going to have them credible. I feel like there's a fair few teams up there that are just jobbing around, to be honest. I mean, there's only a handful of teams that you would say are credible, Street Profits, Usos, debatable about Viking Raiders, but I feel they're credible. I like them with Valhalla, for example. So there's probably not like loads of credible teams on the main roster at the moment. There's lots of teams. And you can list them and it'll sound like a good list, but credible teams. So I don't know. I mean, look, if Triple H seriously wants to fix the tag division, bring up a whole raft of teams in one go, do a tournament, find number one contenders, or, find a way of crowning new champions. And, like maybe you have to strip the current champions and crown new ones and sort of hit the refresh. Or do a tournament, find number one contenders. And obviously there'll be loads of credible teams that kind of show out through that tournament. Like, give the tag division time, make it a big deal. I feel like the tag division was actually doing well when RK Bro were around. Because RK Bro were a huge team, massively over. We were opening segments, closing segments. Like, RK Bro for a while, because there was no champion on Raw, because Roman wasn't the champion on Raw, we had to use the tag belts a little more. But, oh my God, splash there. Over the top by Sol Ruca. Knees up by Zoe Stark. Sol Ruca in the corner, gets planted in the corner. So, I mean, look, yeah, am I optimistic? Optimistic, sure. But you've got to change your booking. And you've got to prioritize the tag teams. Zoe Stark getting the win. Don't know what her finishing move is called. She sort of flips them over, then hits them with a knee like a GTS type thing. Sol Ruca, look, springboarding off, came down. Zoe got her knees up. Oh. A lovely move. Flipping her over. Bang! Kicks coming in by Zoe Stark. Zoe picking up Sol Ruca, chucking her in the corner. Sol Ruca goes down. Zoe Stark unloading here. Is Nikita coming down? I can't remember if we're done with that feud or not. Oh, there it is. Is that called the Soul Snatcher? Something along those lines. She got checked in the corner. She hit that move. It's an amazing move. It's an amazing move. I sort of feel like they're not giving it the credit it deserves now. I mean, like, literally, she's just hit that amazing move, which I don't think she's done that many times on NXT before. Obviously, we've seen it before. And we, first of all, heard about it on Level Up. But she's hit it. I wish there was a replay that we got of it and a bit more, oh my God, she's hit it. She, really make a thing instead. That's it. She hit it. Commentary doesn't really react. We move on to... did you see the head in the background? That's surely got to be the head for WrestleMania 28 when they were in New York, because there's a head of Statue of Liberty. What's that doing? What's that doing there? That should be at the warehouse. We were just seeing. I didn't even catch who it was, to be honest. Someone was walking down. I was too busy looking in the background. I think Damon Kemp or someone walking down, and in the background you had the Statue of Liberty head up in the thing. Just Nick said that looked great. It did look great. It's such a great move. I wish they would. Oh my God! Like every time she hits, it should be like an RKO. You know, like when Randy hits the RKO, everyone goes mental. Commentary no-sold it. Like, oh, she snatched her soul. Right, let's move on. Vengeance Day. Come on, NXT. One of the best moves I've ever seen. Braun and Braun, and then we have Karrion and Nikki. All it would take is a few weeks to get every team available. Raw, SmackDown, NXT. Even below that, make a huge tournament. Use it to bring in new teams. Use a month after Mania to do it. All take time. Yeah, it was Dabba-Kato, was it? Thank you. I agree. I mean, you could even do something like a G1, but with tag teams, and do not even like a knockout tournament, but a G1 type tournament where it's points and a leaderboard, and the winners of each league face each other at the end and whatever. Like, give it that sort of spotlight. Give it that sort of attention. Don't, it needs the teams as well, because I just don't think the teams are credible enough. We're trying now again after burying them. I don't know. I mean, honestly, we've buried them so deep. The amount of climbing that Cedric and Shelton are going to have to do is going to be biblical. But it feels like we're trying to turn the temperature back up on Cedric and Shelton now. And it feels like eventually we will get to a Hurt Business. But I feel sorry for the tag division. Vince never cared. Vince never cared about the tag division. He had a lovely little spell in the late 80s. There's a few times where I think Vince has got behind it, and it's looked great when he has. Late 80s with some of the teams they had then. Late 90s with the TLC matches and everything. I feel like there's been a few moments, but all in all, never been consistently good. But we've had New Day, we've had Usos, obviously in recent years, who have just killed it. They've been fantastic. But then you look at like the Ascension, who were amazing in NXT, got called up, buried. Then you've got like Viking Raiders, amazing, got called up, not amazing. Then you had like American Alpha, amazing in NXT, got called up, got split up. Then you had, let's not even get started on the Revival. Authors of Pain. I mean, NXT has produced tag teams. Some of the best matches in NXT history have been tag matches. You look at some of the best ever NXT takeover matches. They've been the tag teams. with DIY and the Revival and American Alpha and, Authors of Pain and these amazing teams. The Ascension killed it for a long time. Fantastic team. Just doesn't ever translate to the main roster. So the hope would be, yes, we've got more great tag teams coming through. And this time, Vince isn't there to bury them. So the hope is Triple H will utilize them, yes. Okay. Brooks and Jensen. Brooks, Jensen, Briggs. I don't know, it's Josh Briggs, is it? Oh, it is Pretty Deadly. Oh, disheveled. It looks like you've not slept. Do you want a drink? No, we want tag team titles. Chase, you are here. Okay, are we building towards Chase U and Pretty Deadly here? Okay, so it is going to be Chase U against Pretty Deadly. Here's Dabba-Kato then. So we haven't seen Dabba-Kato. This is our first time looking at him since he returns. Polish flag there as well, by the way. White and red. Colours of Poland. I think he was born in Poland. Making his way out. Obviously, he attacked. Do you know, this could work, This guy is Commander Aziz, who we've seen plenty of before. And you look at him and, as Commander Aziz, just didn't do it. Dabba-Kato, though. Dabba-Kato comes out. Love how he comes out and he just sort of stands there. Looks off he looks like a monster. Stepping over the top rope is always a good look. That Dante Chen. Oh, man, they're always doing Dante Chen dirty. Always, every time there's someone coming in that's got a, that's a killer or whatever, they always chuck him in with Dante Chen. Oh, Dante Chen, you're about to get murdered, mate. You're about to get humbled. Right, Dabba-Kato versus Dante Chen. It looks good. Simple ring gear. It's just black. Black tights, black top, black boots. Got a great size to him. Big chop there by Dabba-Kato. Shoulder barge to the midsection. Dabba-Kato, I hope this guy has done some work and can work better. I think he's always just going to be a brawler, and he's always just going to be someone that's going to grab you, chuck you around, ragdoll you, throw in some strikes, big slams. I mean, that's what you're going to get from a guy of that size, really. The NXT Universe are trying to get behind Dante. Boom. Thea Hale must be drinking a whole pot of caffeine coffee before she comes to the ring, said David. She's a firecracker, isn't she? She's someone that just stands. I mean, you don't even need to watch NXT for her to stand out. Dabba grabbing Dante, hurling him into the ring. Love his hair as well. He's got great hair. Charging over. Oh, big boot by Dante. Dabba stumbles back, goes over. Shot to the midsection. And again, Dante trying to throw back. Not really into Dante getting some offense in. Big clothesline by Dante. Running over. Uppercut by Dante. And again. Didn't need this. Big boot. I never needed you at all. Dabba goes down to one knee. Matt, shout out to you, bud. Says, best keep up the good work. That's very kind, Matt. Appreciate the support, buds. Hope you're enjoying the action on this week's NXT. Okay, this little revival, pardon the pun, has been stopped. Matt says Matt has gifted a Wrestling Daze membership. Matt, shout out to you, bud. It's very kind. Dabba-Kato getting the dub. Dabba-Kato getting the dub. Bray and Dabba have got the same hairdresser, said Erase Your Minds. Let's go, said Rory. Bang. Okay, Dabba stepping out the ring, job done. Oh, there's that woman. Quinn McKay was her name. Haven't seen her in a while. I wish she still wore a bow tie thing. I always liked her in the bow tie. I mean, I never used to watch her on Ring of Honor, but even though I never watched her, you always used to see pictures of her in the bow tie, whatever. Like, it was a good look for her. Now she just feels a bit generic. So last week, Inda Shia. We've got to get Inda Shia back, especially Jinder. So we got Diamond Mine. Still don't know what's... Oh, here's Isla and Alba. Spooky Sisters. Why was you lurking in the parking lot? They're accusing Tatum of attacking Nikita. I don't care who attacked Nikita. I don't give a flip. An innocent person would have just said no. Yeah, Tatum, if you just did it, just say. Ivy believes her. I reckon it was Tatum. She did it. Matt said, enjoy the show. Matt gifted Wrestling. Matt, you don't have to do this, buds. I really appreciate the support. You're already like a king of the community.
I never needed you.
Oh. Are we going to... I don't know what match we're going to. Now, Isla Dawn, I don't think she was... She wasn't down for a match. Unless this is going to be her against Tatum. Yeah, it is. She's taking on Tatum. Right, okay, so Isla Dawn against Tatum Paxley. And it was Tatum Paxley that attacked Nikita. Totes. Yeah, Matt, appreciate the support, buds. Really appreciate it. Dabba-Kato versus Odyssey Jones. Book it. Just Nick said, is it me or is Tatum Paxley just wearing way too much makeup? Can't say I noticed, to be honest. She might have been. I have seen that a few times with women in NXT that seem to wear a bit too much. I don't know. It might just be like a TV thing. Like, you know, you're going on TV, you maybe just put on a bit extra. I don't know. I think like I don't want to talk like out of term or anything, but I think she might have some skin issues as well. Because I have seen with like a few, like not acne or things like that, but like a few spots and whatever. So maybe like part of it is a bit concealer, maybe. I don't know. Or it could just be that she's gone a little bit too heavy with the contouring. Yeah, we've all done it, guys. We've all done it. Matt, hang on. When did you do that, Matt? You're welcome. You are the best. Oh, that's really good. Matt, I didn't realize you dropped 10. Jesus, Matt. Look at this. Look at them. Look at the scramble in the community, Matt. That's really, really cool. Who benefited from Matt's generosity there? Let's shout out names. So Billy, Jacob, Dragon Slayer of Death, Randy, Norma, Richard, Maya, and Lee, all benefiting from Matt's very kind generosity. Going to do a member stream on Thursday. So we'll do a member stream on Thursday. There we go. That's access to all these people. Going to make it good as well. Going to talk about boys. Yeah. I don't know what we'll talk about. But, yeah. Very kind, Matt. Very, very kind. I think I got one from Matt when he gifted the first one, said Rory. I bet Albafire makes her presence known. I bet Albafire makes... Oh, yeah, maybe on the outside. Yeah, definitely see that. I benefited from Matt the other day, said Chris. Oh, I bet you did. Matt said, you're welcome, guys. That's a cool guy, isn't he? What a cool thing to do. Like, supporting the channel, but also helping out, like, other people. I worry that you're a bit too nice for this community, Matt. To be honest, mate. On reflection, I don't know if that's the kind of thing I want to encourage. I think this is a dog-eat-dog world, and people need to learn that life is harsh. This is a harsh world. It's survival of the fittest. Yeah? All this generosity stuff, it needs to stop. It needs to stop. David said, Isla Dawn is so pale. If she walked into a department store, people might think it's haunted. Yeah. If she walked into an aquarium, they might think she's one of those see-through fish. Didn't work as well. It probably would have worked better if I knew the name of the fish. Oni the fish. Hey, here's Roxanne. Roxanne. She's smaller than Caden and Katana. What's your problem? We were cheated. And no one seems to be talking about it. Hey, did you see that Katana's got a shirt? She's got a shirt, but it's just her. Oh, they're having a real pop here at Roxanne. We'll see about that.
I never needed you at all.
Roxanne, you don't have to put on a red light. Roxanne. Mayor, shout out to you. Tatum in the ring. Looking lovely. Isla Dawn. Looking spooky. Peyton Paxley's like a sexy Lara Croft. You could be Lara Croft. Remember her? Right, Isla Dawn working on the arm of Tatum. Roll through by Tatum. Cartwheel. Working on the arm. Over goes Isla Dawn. Against the ropes goes Tatum. What that move was. What was that move? She went against the ropes and then she like cartwheeled over Isla Dawn. I suppose in a way she's putting her weight onto Isla Dawn by doing that. Kick to the midsection. Pretty deadly against Chase U coming up. Lara Croft Boob Raider, said David's. Boob Raider. Was there surely there was like a little cheeky adult film that was called that. Lara Croft Boob Raider. I've never heard of that. Seriously, I've never heard of it. Jesse, shout out to you. Scripts got written off, no pun intended, said Lady B. Lady B. Where's Scripts? Said Wyatt 6. Probably terrorizing Ikemanjiro's wardrobe a little bit more. Against the ropes then is Isla and Tatum. We got Alba on the outside. Is Ivy out there? I haven't seen Ivy. Diamond Mine Forever sign. Where's Roddy as well? Back elbow by Tatum. A lot of questions about Diamond Mine. I think she's out there on her own, Tatum. Ivy Nile not out. So she is outnumbered. Bit harsh, isn't it? I thought it was Diamond Mine Forever. Down goes Isla. Tatum, step up in Zaguri. That's nice. Isla goes down in the corner. Tatum charging over. Big boot by Isla. Isla coming over, looking for a clothesline. Duck underneath by Tatum. Kick to the midsection. Gut wrench. Yes. 1, 2. Kick out. Tatum backing up a little bit. Scripps is awesome. Derp. Scripps for Hall of Fame. Cringe Hall of Fame. I believe Scripps and Reggie are one and the same. There's no proof of that. Isla planting Tatum. 1, 2, 3. And there we go. Boom. The wins. No one's going to be surprised at that. I'm surprised that Ivy wasn't out there. The spirits come to her in the center of the ring. Here's Alba Fire then. Alba Fire and... here's Ivy. Oh, it's nice of you to show up, mate. Jeez. What, you couldn't come out for the, 8 minutes that your friend was having a match? Too much of a commitment, was it? Tatum needs better friends. I think after Mania, they need to bulk out the roster. They need to take the brand split seriously, do a draft like the original one, have separate writing teams and GMs for each show. Chris said, I'm still waiting for Tyler Breeze to be Scripps coming out in a jigsaw mask, taking selfies, very disappointed. Janice said, if Roxanne Perez is calling Edge, what does the rated R superstar want for her? If Roxanne Perez is calling Edge, what does the rated R superstar want for her? Have I missed something here? What do you mean? She spoke to a little chat to Edge, has she? Oh my God, he's having an affair. Oh my God, he is having an affair with Roxanne Perez. This lovely, lovely vehicle arriving. Posh car arriving. Someone looking fly stepping out. I'm still waiting. Oh, we read that. There is no evidence to prove that Scripps and Reggie are the same person. Roxanne was calling someone. She just had to wrap the chain around her hand first. It takes a while, said Kyle. Well, she needs to start preparing earlier, doesn't she? Roxy phoned Edge. Who do you think just pulled in? No, we'll find out soon. Don't need to worry about it. We'll find out soon. Vince McMahon. That's who I think. Vince McMahon. Tony Khan. Mbappe. Tom Brady. Father Christmas. Macaulay Culkin. Eddie Murphy. CM Punk. CM Punk. My favorite of all the Pucks. A pair of shoes is about to enter the building. Bunker said, boring Corbin. It's gotta be Kane. Hammer and Grams. To the Billy Gunn, said David Robert Woods. I'm pretty sure Scripps is El Generico. Roxanne has called Mystic Meg for backup. Oh, is she still going? Oh, Mystic Meg. She's still going. She was quite big in the 90s. I feel like she might still do something in the sun. I'm not sure. It's Sting. It's Stone Cold. It's Linda McMahon. Yes. Love it. Love it all. It's Kang the Conqueror. It's Davey Boy Smith Jr. Dragon. Blade Jay White. Nick Aldis. It's a Carter. JBL. It's MJF. Sabu, Eugene, Jay White. It's her mom, AJ Lee. Grimes teased a return on Twitter the other day, said Max. AJ Lee would be crazy. It's Barry Horowitz. It's the Brooklyn Brawler. It's James Elmsworth. It's not even James Ellsworth. It's James Elmsworth. Hello, James Elmsworth. It's Daze. It's Regal. It's Hook. It's the Huckster and the Nacho Man. Billionaire Ted. It's Lace's new gimmick. It could be Dragon Lee, but it's probably Bayley, said Blazed. Dan the Man. It's The Miz. Trying to recruit someone to work with him. It's Ludwig Borger. It's Nails. It's Jake Paul. It's Logan Paul. Paulie Paul. Oh, we're going to find out, aren't we? It's Matt Riddle. Trey Gaming said it's me. It's Chelsea Green wanting more chocolate. It's Ric Flair. Woo! It's the gobbledygooker in a suit. MJF in NXT on USA is a lot of abbreviations. It is. Well, look. Here is Carmelo in the ring. We're about to go to our next match. It's Big John McCarthy. Right. I thought he was going to say it's Big John Fury. Imagine if it was Big John Fury. He's not even allowed in America. You're the best. Big John. Big John. Right, JD against Carmelo. It's a WWE mark. It's Banana Man. It's the corpse of Giant Haystacks Calhoun. It's Ronaldo. It's Green Shirt Guy. It's Repo Man. It's Yellow Shirt Guy. It's Yellow Shirt Guy with a new QR code advertising his local Grand Designs firm. JD McDonagh. It's TL Hopper. It's Big John Studd. It's Matt Cardona. It's Conor McGregor. It's Main Event Jey Uso. It's Nathan Jones. It's Enzo. It's Liv Morgan with an E at the end. Love it. That's how she should spell it. It's Danger Mouse. It's Booker T's brother, Stevie Ray. Oh, God. These are all great. It's Dink the Clown. Right, we're locking up with JD and Carmelo. We're 50-odd minutes into this show. We're sneaking our way towards the halfway point. It's been all right. I don't know that it's been a show that's had really much go down in it, you know. It's all right. Caden and Katana seemed a bit off, didn't they? You know, having a pop at the face women's champion. I don't really get the vibe they're going to come out dancing. That's the best part. Bum, bum, ba-ba-dum, bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 ba-ba-dum, bum, bum, bum. And then Katana with a little horse thing. Right, Carmelo was bouncing the ball, getting ready to swoosh it. JD just knocking it away. I mean, honestly, in the world of invisible basketball, that was shade. Carmelo goes over the top of JD. JD flips up JD with a big boot to the midsection. Chop to Carmelo. Carmelo goes into the corner. JD comes over. Big chop. Choppity chop. He's got Carmelo going over to the other side of the ring. JD charging over. Up over the top to the outside. Down he goes. A nurse. A nurdle is a dab of toothpaste that you squeeze onto your toothbrush. A nurdle. A nurdle of toothpaste. Don't like that. Nurdle. That's not as much fun as when you came up with tittle. Remember tittle? Tittle was good. Nurdle. Still interesting, though. Give me that, Coach. It's interesting. It's no tittle. It's Ralphie, the guy that was with Jericho back in the day. Nice. It's me. It's DDP. Max said, I keep thinking Gigi and JC are sat in the crowd. They're good, aren't they? They are good. They are good. They're great costumes. They should let them go to the top. It's probably not there, is it, this week? But if the Toxic Lounge was there, they should let them go in the Toxic Lounge. That would be good, actually. Imagine if the Toxic Lounge was set up and as a fan, you could go and have your picture taken in it. I mean, it's not that special, but do you think they let them have their picture taken on that platform thing? Probably don't, do they? They should. Go on the platform, have your picture taken, do you know what I mean? They should let them in the ring, really. There aren't that many of them. Stick around afterwards. If you want your picture taken in the ring, stick around. Be nice. There may be some wrestling shows that do that. I've never been to one that's allowed that. That'd be a nice thing to let people do. Even if they charge $5, get in the ring, have your picture taken. I'd do that. It's Nicholas. It's Naomi. It's my husband, said Chastity. It's little Jimmy. Dixie Wrecked will be disappointed. Didn't see their shout-out request. Dixie Wrecked. The hell's that? Who's that? Is that someone in the chat? I've never heard of Dixie Wrecked. Dixie, shout out to you. Yeehaw. Makes me think of Dolly Parton. Mitch the Plant. It's Ralphus. It's Zach. It's got to be Fake Diesel. Purple Nurple. Picture in picture. Are you a picture in picture? Oh, we ain't got no picture in picture. Got adverts. Ain't got no picture in picture. It can't be Zach Gowen, and we all know why. It's Tugboats. Gigi's backside would get in the way and cast a solar eclipse over the ring. Listen, don't mind a bit of Gigi. Not in that regard, but in the regard of like, got something about her, that girl. She's, you know, I mean, the thing with Gigi is she was Priscilla Kelly on the Indies. So she can, you know, that she can go on her own. Gigi on her own would be fine. I think JC on her own would be fine as well, actually. But together, they make such a good team now. Must admit, I wasn't feeling it at the start. I'll hold my hands on that. But then, as I said earlier, I think a lot in NXT were very green a year ago. You know, it was just over a year ago that we abandoned the original NXT and started 2.0. And we started it with a lot of green talent. And I just think they just threw a lot of too many new, fresh faces in at the once, too much at the same time. And it just meant then that, like, oh, man, the show for me was not in a great place. But as we've got towards the end of the year in particular, as I said, I think people have really found their feet. And now we've just got some really great people around now. I think it's a really fun time to watch NXT. Really fun. This week's show's all right. It's all right. It's not amazing. There hasn't really been any, like, OMG moments. But still feel like we're pushing some stories along, you know? Still feel like I'm watching something. And we haven't had Bayley yet. We still got Bayley. We've still got a ding-dong hello, haven't we? We got MJF, whoever it is that's rocked up. We need to know who that is. So we've got that to come as well. We've also got Lyra Valkyria in action. She might be wearing her nice ring gear, so got that to look forward to. And we might, hopefully, we'll hear off everyone's favorite streamer, Stevie. Like to hear off her. Nothing's better than Black and Gold's. Yeah, Black and Gold was goated. Black and Gold was the best. But I feel like we're in a decent place with NXT right now. Excited. I was looking forward to tonight. Right, here we go. I would go there, you know. I'd love to go there. Carmelo Hayes against JD McDonagh. Shots coming in by Carmelo. So we're still underway with Carmelo against JD. Over in the corner goes Carmelo. Again, hard JD into the corner. Big back body drop. It's Andre the Giant. It's Kira Hogan. It's Rob Van Dam. This NXT is decent, I agree. I feel like NXT, for me, changed as soon as people left Full Sail. So I would say we stayed at Full Sail for a bit, but in the dark. There's no one there. That was okay, but it wasn't the best. It was okay. But I think as soon as we moved to the Performance Center, that's when things took a bit of a downturn. It was, for me, things took a downturn before 2.0 came along. But as I said, I think, like, you know, I like the layout of this. I think this is the best layout they've had. Do you remember when, not that long ago, they actually had people really close to the ring? It felt a bit cramped. Wasn't a big fan of that. This layout's better. Still think it trails behind Full Sail, though. There was, even at Full Sail, there was like a community. I'm sure there is here. But, like, do you remember you used to see Kyle in the Everton shirt? You see him, and obviously Izzy was a big community member. You know, tie-dye guy was in the crowd all the time. Just don't tend to see, like, those sorts of people anymore. I'm sure there are regulars. They just haven't shown themselves really to me. I love that. Springboard leg drop by Carmelo. Obviously, we've got our Chase U section. Bang. Bang. I love the leg drop. The only problem I've got with the leg drop is that in order to hit it, the opponent has to lean back. So, from a kayfabe point of view, why would you do that? If you're on the ropes, sat there, and you're holding onto that top rope, what would make you want to expose your chest to the leg drop? Like, you would slide through the ropes to the outside. It's a great looking move, though. Picks up JD. Lovely cutter. Plants him down. 1, 2. Shoulder up. NXT should move to an arena, said WWE fan. Yeah, well, the only thing is they don't have to pay for this, do they? This is their building. And they've paid all the money converting it. And it's good. You know what I mean? It's not a problem. Nice atmosphere, decent amount of people in there. And this is their developmental. So I sort of feel like, them being in this smaller space, it's you are watching the superstars of tomorrow in as they're learning in this smaller environment. Don't mind that. Carmelo had a submission on JD, got to the ropes. NXT needs its own talk show, said Boomers. It coming into the midsection. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that, actually. Wouldn't mind that. That'd be pretty good. You've got, like, Raw Talk, haven't you? And, is it Smack Talk? Shot coming in by JD. Oh, need NXT talk. Shoulder up by Carmelo after a sit-down powerbomb. These two battling away. It does feel like whoever wins this is probably going to be next in line for Braun. Melo. Couple of Bayley shirts in the crowd as well, noticed. Old school. That dude's got an I'm a Hugger shirt on. Carmelo trying to use the ropes then. Kicking out at JD. Carmelo lands on his feet. Double knees. Down goes JD. Melo. 1, 2. Shoulder up. Shoulder up. My question is, who's going to AEW next? I don't know, it depends who WWE release. I think there could be some releases this year. I think they will try to cut their wage bill. Just reduce it a bit. I think that's something Vince is always keeping an eye on, operating costs, trying to drop them down. Oh, it's Dragunov! Oh, Ilya's back! Yeah! Dragunov! 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 Yeah! Ilya Dragunov! Oh, no! Carmelo wins, and the first thing he sees is Dragunov staring at him. Oh, Dragunov throws a shot, lands it on JD. He put Dragunov out of on the shelf. He was last we saw of him getting stretchered off. JD running into the crowd. Dragunov chasing after him. Oh, that's sick, man. Carmelo laughing at. So, looks like JD and Dragunov are going to go into a feud, and Carmelo picks up the win. So, he is surely on a collision course with Braun. Dragunov being back is sick, man. The Gunther killer. Hello. Here on her own. What's this? I saw your TikTok. That question. Why don't you like Cheshire? This is the Hey You're Talking segment. Why are you breathing my air? Cheshire is tacky and cringy. No one wants to go there. Ever. Listen. Blondie. All you care about is you. All I care about is chase you. Look at Tiffany's facial expression. Yeah, suck it. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. The Rock's daughter just stole Thea Hale. No. Oh, my God. She's going to get sacrificed by Schism. So she tells Tiffany to suck it. And then she just gets kidnapped by Ava Rain. Whatever her name is. Grayson Waller effect. Guys, if you are buying anything from WWE Shop, there's a link in the description. Small percentage comes back to the channel. It's greatly appreciated. Maybe you want the Grayson Waller t-shirt. Maybe you want the Bron Breakker t-shirt. Maybe you want the Generation of Jade t-shirt. Maybe you want the Tonight Only. Save up to 40% as well. Just saying. Suck it. Arlene said, how'd you feel about the Cody segment? Well, it's probably best not to ask me because I might end up upsetting some people. I mean, look, I really liked it. I just didn't like the final few lines. And also Cody said, like, he has a pop at Paul for making it personal. But it was Cody that made it personal, first of all. Cody was the one that, like, started off with the personal stories about Dusty and everything. And then at the end is like, why does everyone make this personal? Like, well, Cody, you did, actually. Why is everyone always going on about my dad? Well, I mean, like, if we rewind, it was actually you. I mean, it don't matter. It don't matter. So, for me, there was just, like, a couple of things that I would have tweaked. I mean, the bit where Heyman's getting emotional is goated. You know, the bit where he's getting emotional is incredible. It's 10 out of 10. And the story about Dusty doing the advert for the car to keep the car, it's 10 out of 10. Like, those bits are amazing. But there are a few bits in there which just didn't sit right. I just didn't like it. I didn't like the end. The end really bugged me. I think it's because... And the best way I could say is, like, imagine if you get a bowl of soup. And it's an amazing bowl of soup. It's the greatest bowl of soup you've had. And honestly, even as you're eating this bowl of soup, you're like, oh my God, this might be the best bowl of soup I've ever had. Like, this is so enjoyable. It is tasty. It is full of flavor. It is, oh my God. You're just having it, you're putting in your crusty bread. You're like, oh my God, it's so enjoyable. You get to the end and there's a fly in the bottom. And the problem is then everyone online is going about how amazing the soup is. Just can't escape the fact that there was a fly at the bottom of it and there was just something that was like, you know, as you walk away from that meal, that lovely bowl of soup, what are you thinking about? Are you thinking about how lovely 99% of it was? Or are you thinking about the fly that you found at the end? And for me, I came away from it thinking about the fly at the end. Because my problem with it was so personal, so heartfelt. It felt so real and genuine. And as I said, tick, 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 tick. You can watch the watch along. We're swooning over it. It's fantastic, right? And then you get that stupid line at the end from Paul where he said, you know, I spoke to your dad. And one of the last conversations we had, he said, Cody is my favorite son. I mean, straight away, that line, load of rubbish. Why would Dusty ever say that he's got a favourite son? Why would he ever say that? He wouldn't. Why would he ever say that he's got a favourite son? My first thought when he said that line was, well, that's a bit of a shade to Dustin, isn't it? Imagine if you're Dustin Rhodes, sat at home and you're listening to Paul Heyman come out with that line. Imagine that. He'd be like, I hope he was drinking at the time. I hope he was like, this is a great promo. You know, Dusty said you're his favorite son. What? I hope that moment went down. I did literally just spit all over myself. So yeah, I wasn't a fan of that line because it felt really fake in this very real promo, this very heartfelt promo. You just drop in this very stupid fake line. And then he follows it up by saying, and Roman, he said Roman is the son he wished he had had. It was so preposterous that honestly, if Cody had burst out laughing in his face, I wouldn't have been surprised. If someone said that to me, I'd be like, you're an idiot. Shut up. So yeah, for me, an amazing promo. Just didn't like the end. Right, we're back. Anyway, we've been at commercial break. It's a long commercial break. He just spat out the fly soup. It was lovely soup, though. It was lovely soup. That story about Dusty doing the advert, not for money, but to keep the car. That is a great story. Proper, I think he genuinely got Paul as well. I don't think that when he did get Paul emotional, I don't think that was like part of the plan. I don't think Paul was like hamming it up, playing it up. I think like, you know, I think he did get him. If he didn't, and that was like, you know, something Paul was doing, he killed it, man. He proper got me. I was watching it thinking he'd properly done him. Do you know what I mean? And he was like, man, you're good. You're good. Like, and he seemed to have to genuinely, like, you know, compose himself. Brilliant moment. Right, here's Wendy. She's with Valentina Feroz. That's pretty funny. Valentina was like doing all this. So Wendy started copying her with the pillow. So I like that. I mean, like, you could have some fun with that. Like Wendy, like kids do that, don't they? Kids like copy. Oh, new entrants are Lyra. Better. Do you remember they were putting that like CGI rain all over? It looked awful. That was better. So she sort of emerges out of these clouds and everything, actually kind of facing away from the audience. And then the camera cuts and she kind of walks out. It looks better. She's like looking around like this is some brave new world. She's like... Wendy, I must have missed Wendy being with Valentina. I don't know how this union has come to be. I did like that like little spot before though. That was nice. With Valentina. And then Wendy copying with the pillow. Lyra, Valkyria. Yep. Right, Lyra versus Valentina. Valentina's in a tag team, isn't she, with Ulisa, who's out injured like 9 months or so. So I don't know what we do with Valentina. I don't think they know what to do with Valentina. I expect her to take the L here. Roll up by Valentina. Lyra on her feet. Take over. Over goes Lyra. And again, these are lovely tosses. They both scream at each other. Valentina screaming at Lyra. Lyra screams back. Imagine if Wendy had copied again on the outside. That could have been really fun. Nice. She's got a guillotine applied. Valentina and is over. Nice bridge by Lyra. Lyra again trying to pull back on the arms of Valentina. He got Paul emotional. Paul came back to his senses, did what Paul does. He hits you where it hurts by making you doubt yourself. It's typical Paul. Is Elektra. A bit surprised NXT went back to the PC Center. Should have stayed on the road, said Life of Daz. Elektra has come out. Lyra lands on her feet. And Tina gets thrown against the ropes. Over the top. Against the ropes again. Duck underneath. Up round the houses. Head scissors. Lyra goes over. Wendy cheering on. How long we got? We've got 45 minutes. We still got Ding Dongalo. Still got... What else have we got? I feel like we've got a tag match coming up. Chase you against Pretty Deadly. Oh, brass knucks have been thrown into Valentina. Wendy is saying no. Don't do it. Ah, look at this. It's like the devil and the angel. Ah, step up Inzaguri. Valentina went down. She's back on her feet. Spin kick. She's down again. 1, 2, 3. Elektra slipped the brass knucks to Valentina. Well, everyone's upset apart from Lyra now. Elektra's upset. Wendy's upset. Valentina's upset. The brass knucks are upset. It's a lovely spin kick by Lyra. She even... Look at the pin as well. Such an interesting pin. Like a double wrist lock that she applies as she pins her. Interesting. Wes waking up in Orlando. Why was he filming when he woke up? Why was the camera there and he was like... That must have been faked. Pretty wild when you like think of it that way. Like he purposefully got his phone, set it up, pretended to be asleep, and then had to like what he lives for. It's what he's meant to do. Here he is at the hotel. Oh, that's his wife. Oh. Oh, this is nice, isn't it? My name's Erica. I'm married to Wes Lee. Oh, this is nice. Hello, Erica. But how do you have brass knucks and still lose? Well, if she didn't use them, in all fairness. NXT Vengeance Day. Brian? Oh. Cares so much for people. He's going to kill it. I must say, I was very impressed with this match. I'm worried about Wes Lee. I think he's a great tag team guy. I just think he's going to get lost in the solo singles thing. But if he can keep delivering matches as good as what he did against Dijak, it was a really good performance. It was a really fun match. Shame about the finish with Tony getting involved, whatever, but it's not Wes's fault. Good match. Don't pray for anyone to help. The only person that can sort your problems out. His wife is crying. I thought something had happened. He was just proud. There they are backstage. Get in my way. I'm going around, through, or over you if you're in his way. Okay, that was good. That was a nice video package, man. That was good. Really good. Yeah, Dijak's finger was moody. Here's Tony. Here's Stacks. You reap the benefits of our actions. We want to be compensated. For you to be compensated. Open challenge next week. Open challenge. I reckon that's going to be a decent name. They've been using a lot of big names, haven't they, for quite a while now. I mean, New Day, Natalia. We had Nikki and Doudrop. Nakamura came down. AJ Styles has come down. Dolph obviously was champion for a while. Bayley on the show tonight. Open challenge next week by Wes Lee. Makes me think there's scope for another decent-sized name to come down. Odyssey Jones in the ring is fun. Leeds are looking for a new manager after Jesse Marsh was fired after their loss. I did see that, yeah. Why did Odyssey Jones' music play during the interview? Oh, I can't say I noticed. Little production botch. Who's the greatest manager of all time? I say Slick. It's got to be Bobby, innit? It's got to be Bobby. It's like a really boring answer, but it's got to be Bobby. I won't accept any other answer. Slick's fun. I don't mind Slick. Is it just me, or does Cora Jade look like what McDonagh would have looked like? I like Cora Jade. I think she needs a bit more seasoning. I think there are quite a few of them do, in all fairness. I mean, she's still really young. I do think her heel turn has been really good for her. I think like when she was face, I was really struggling with it, to be honest. Her coming down with that skateboard, being all like, "Hey guys, you know, really." The heel turn's a lot better. It's Black History Month. I keep forgetting, said WWE AEW fan. Do you know they actually took NXT stars around Charlotte on some sort of Black History tour? There's like images and pictures of it. Them all on a coach and going to like different exhibitions and whatever. Saw that on the website earlier. Best manager of all time is Mr. Fuji. Cora Jade must have been taken out in the parking lots. Everyone has at least once. Nikita, I think, was the last victim. That was that was a few weeks ago now, so we are due another. Yeah. I mean, if you go to NXT, I can only imagine that you do take a picture of the parking lot. There's been that many attacks. Bobby the Brain's the best. Second is Mr. Fuji. Third is Paul Bearer or Percy Pringle. I thought Cora Jade was 46. She just looks it in the face. She looks it. She, I think that she's got an older looking face. She's young. But I do think her face looks a bit older than her actual age. But, oh, no, I got lots of shade for that one. I mean, maybe not 46. I can't remember what I said. I don't think I said 46. Maybe I did. Who knows? I'm a man of many words. Chris Martel, not including Jim Cornette's. Oh, Cornette's got to be in there. Heyman as well. I mean, Heyman's done great work as a manager. I mean, when you think of a manager and what they have to do, like talking is obviously a big part of it. And I think like Heyman and what he done for Brock definitely puts him in that conversation. And just like think of his amazing segments that he's had. With like, he's one of the best talkers WWE have ever had. So I think, you know, Heyman's got to be in there. Cornette's got to be in there. Bobby for me is number one. Mr. Fuji's a good shout. Don't mind Mr. Fuji. Slicker don't mind. Do you know who else is quite good? Thingy. Classy Freddie Blassie. That was Hogan's first manager. But he managed quite a few people. He was a good talker. He was good. Old school, though, you know, back in the day, so you don't really see too much of him. There's not much footage of him, like, from WrestleMania or anything like that. I think he was at the first WrestleMania. But yeah, Classy Freddie Blassie was pretty good. Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. That's a great shout. Yeah, that's a great shout. Yes, with the... That's right, baby! Yeah, that's a great shout. Captain Lou, JJ Dillon. These are all very good. Very good. Oh, Tyler. You're suspended for 1 week. Want to disrespect someone. How about next week you try to disrespect me, says Tyler Bate. Go on, Tyler. Channing Stacks. So Stacks is about to take on Odyssey. Stacks. What about Zeb Coulter? We the people. Thanks to the cast. Vince has some big grapefruits. Do you have an image that I can compare? I can give him a run for his money, said Godfather's Ho. Have I got an image of Vince McMahon's grapefruits? This is going to surprise you, but I don't. I do have an image of Linda's melons, but I don't have an image of Vince's grapefruits. Neither have I gone searching for one, to be honest. I mean, look, they're huge. Just Google biggest grapefruits ever grown, ever discovered. It's going to be around that ballpark. $1 Million Man with Money Inc. Underrated manager Paul Ellering. He was good with. I must admit, I mean, I didn't see loads of him with the Road Warriors. When he came back and did a little run with Legion of Doom, it was awful. He had, do you remember Rocco? It was awful. But he was decent with Authors of Pain. He definitely provides credibility. Shot to the midsection by Odyssey. Sherry. I love Sherry. We've spoke about Sherry before. I love Sherry. She's so, we never do like the who's underrated stuff. We talk about it all the time. How do you know? How rated are people? This person's underrated. How rated are they? I don't know, right? Sherry is underrated. Underrated. She was so good, so passionate. I mean, she had the passion of like Thea Hale, but she had great wrestling ability as well. She was a legit women's champion. She was WWE champion for like 400 odd days. The only downside is obviously you didn't see her defend that belt all that much. A lot of that was at house shows. But she was great. She was a great wrestler. She was a fantastic valet. I tell you what as well, she was always up for anything, like taking bumps and anything. I mean, there's footage of her getting hurled into sides of cages and all this kind of stuff. Like, she was always getting involved, slipping things in the ring, banging on the edge of the ring. Like, oh God, I wish she was still with us. Because I wish there was a way that she could get, I don't feel like she got the recognition she deserved, I'd love her to be on like legend shows and, her to come out and have the crowd chanting her name and, I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch her Hall of Fame. I don't know if she was around when she went in, but can't remember. But I don't know that she ever got that Sherry chant, or do you know what I mean? I don't know that she ever got that. Sherry. Love Sherry. Sonny. I saw Sonny's naughty movie, said Godfathers. Right, Stacks is doing all right here, by the way. Rather than talking about Sonny's naughty movie, we've got Odyssey Jones and Stacks in the middle of the ring. Stacks going down to one knee. I've liked WWE since I was 2, said Lee. Miss Elizabeth. Miss Elizabeth is interesting because, I mean, I can't say really about WCW. I never watched loads of WCW, but in she wasn't really, what was she? I mean, she was just there. If anything, she was more in the way than anything else. I love her. She's amazing. She never used to do like much talking for Randy. Randy would always talk and she would just be there. Honestly, it felt like he just didn't trust her being out back whilst he was in the ring. That's how it felt. It felt like, I can't leave her back there whilst I'm in the ring. I don't know what's going to be happening. You're coming to the ring with me. And so she used to just stand at the ringside looking pained. Like worried for the Macho Man. And then if he would cheat or something, she would be like, oh, I don't like you doing that. Oh. She's all weak and feeble. but in a lovely way, and we love her, and she's the first lady. And we have to protect her at any means necessary. Unfortunately, she's dead now. But it was lovely. So I do love the suggestion, but as a manager, I don't know that she really ticked all the boxes. She did do a bit of talking, in all fairness. She wasn't like completely mute. It's classy though. You can definitely tell she was channeling that Princess Diana vibe. I tell you what, Stax has just got a big win over Odyssey Jones, you know. Big win. Big win for Stax. The underboss. The underboss getting a dub over Odyssey Jones. Don't know how I feel about that. It's Via, Sanga, Jinder. Via, Sanga, and Jinder. I do like these. Via, Sanga, and Jinder. An entire region of this planet rejoiced in celebration. I would imagine the Indian market is going doolally for these guys. I could see them really getting behind these. Both Miss Elizabeth and Sable were prisoner managers. They were never allowed to manage other wrestlers thanks to Caveman, Macho Man, and Mark Mero. Listen, you've got to be really careful around guys that have got a first and last name that begin with an M. That's what we've learned. Macho Man, Mark Mero. Coincidence? Thank God Max Moon didn't have a female manager. Right, here's Chase U. I don't think they realise that Thea Hale has been stolen, and you would imagine they would. Guys, Thea Hale has been Hale-napped. Chase U. Thea Hale can take care of herself. Is that what he said? That's his mentality. Thea Hale can take care. She's been Hale-napped by Schism, and your reaction is she can take care of herself. I mean, look, what I would say is a little ball of energy, right? You can only imagine that if you do kidnap Thea Hale, it's going to get really annoying very quickly. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I'd love her. I'd love her. Because she'd just be like bouncing around in the corner of the room and you'd be like getting hyped. But I don't feel like that's Schism's wheelhouse. Do you know what I mean? If you look at Schism, you know, I feel like they're going to have this very excitable little pup. That's not Schism's speed, is it? They're a lot slower, thoughtful. They might end up releasing her, honestly. I would love that. I'd love to see them getting wound up. Like, you know, like you keep cutting back and like Thea Hale's in a cage and she's like, what are we doing now? Are we going anywhere? What's happening? And they're like, oh God, is there a way we can just... She doesn't stop. She hasn't slept. It's been 3 days. And she's there going, guys, what's that? I would do that. I'd book that. Would you class Luna Vachon as a manager? Who was she with? I mean, I remember her coming down. I remember her coming down with Sean for a bit. And she was with Bam Bam for a bit, wasn't she? It's a fine line, isn't it? You know, what's a manager? What's a valet? You could. I feel like she might be a valet. A valet. I feel like a manager is someone that does the booking, goes and speaks to the GMs, goes and sorts matches, does talking for their clients. Like that was never Luna, but equally that was never quite a few people. So you could, if you do say that like Luna's a valet, Miss Elizabeth is definitely a valet. Sensational Sherry was probably a valet. I don't think she ever went and booked matches and sorted stuff like that. I feel like she came down and looked pretty. So yeah, it's a fine line between valet and manager. I actually think Sunny might have been a manager. But I've got a feeling, again, I'd have to go back and look, but I've got a feeling that she was getting matches made for like the Smoking Guns. And she was like, getting stuff sorted. I don't think she was just coming down and being eye candy. I think she was trying to get them to be successful. So I think she was a manager. But I don't think Luna was doing that. I think Luna was looking pretty. You're into that kind of thing? That's the kind of thing you like? That's the kind of thing you like? It doesn't really matter, does it? Great managers, great valets. It doesn't really matter. It's all the same wheelhouse. Different side of the same coin. What happened to Vince McMahon? He realized that he hated wrestling. Realized he never liked it. And so now he sells ice cream. Bin chillin'. He sells bin chillin' with John Cena. We should make a missing post. Do it, Nick. Do it. Do it. Tag me in it. I'll retweet it. Done. Babe. I love that tune. Get ready to prove that you have what it takes. 2K23. Even stronger. Pre-order it now. Step into the ring as Bad Bunny. All right. Here we go. We got Roxanne. You know who your tag partner is? Off the phone. Next week. Yeah. Oh! Satamura back next week. Mako Satamura is back next week, baby. The final boss. Yes. Is Pretty Deadly looking pretty disheveled. They're trying to get into it, look, but they're gutted. Gutted. They're trying to do the pose. Oh. Miko, come on! Thea could fit inside a microwave box and be shipped to China. You'd love it. Put a shiny thing in there. Something like that. She'd be... Oh, she'd love it. Pretty Deadly got me weak, said Justin. Roxanne, why would you spoil that? Yeah. I suppose she could have said you'll find out next week, but equally, I'm pretty excited. Love Miko. Right, ring-a-ding-ding. We can't have long here. Right? We've only got less than 20 minutes, and we've still got to do ding-dong-a-lowing. Can't believe Chase, you were out there allowing Thea Hale to fend. She's been stolen by Schism. This crowd should be chanting for Thea. What about Jim Cornette and his podcast? What about it? What about it? Pretty Deadly, more like pretty depressed. I like it. To the outside goes Prince. Prince coming back in the ring. Dave's got the overrun. Ah, yeah, the overrun. I always forget about the overrun. Ow. Oh, well. Yay! Overrun. 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 NXT is stupid for revealing the partner, said WWE and AEW fan. There's Miko in it. That's good, isn't it? Miko Satomura. Is there a Miko shirt? I'd buy a Miko shirt. I'd get a Miko shirt. I bet there isn't. Or is there? She's been around for a hot minute. She's a women's champion in NXT UK. Let's have a look and see. Is there a shirt for me? No. Stupid! Oh, the one Pretty Deadly dude was upside down in the ropes. The other one got smashed into his legs. Not going well. Teachable moment! Chase you. Got a Chase U shirt. Yeah, you can get Chase U shirts. They sell an Andre Chase U shirt. There's nothing for Thea, though. Thea. Sorry, your search for Thea Hale didn't match any products. Why? Why? Against the ropes goes Pretty Deadly. Splash and a leg drop. Click on NXT. NXT. You can get a Vengeance Day poster. That'd be pretty cool if it was signed. They do sell signed ones. Unsigned. If you go to the shows, they sell signed ones. Get a Solo Sikoa signed thing. They got replica belts. Worlds Collide. Chase you! We want Thea. We want Thea. I hope Chase U lose. I'm a big Chase U fan, but I'm not into this just abandoning a member that's been kidnapped. Duke Hudson goes over the steps. Do you think that they had Thea kidnapped to delay giving us the inevitable Thea Tiffany match? Who? I don't think so. I don't think you'd do that because you could do that match and Thea will lose. I mean, Thea's starting out and she's still learning. So, I mean, Tiffany against Thea, you can do it if Thea would lose. Listen, Thea simps and stands. We've got to accept that she is very early in her career and she's going to take L's at the moment. But I don't know. I mean, like, clearly, it's exciting that it's happened, to be honest, because it feels like they've got some sort of story for her to do. They've got an idea. Like, it seems like they want to do something more with her than her just coming out going, ah! Like this. Like, they've got more in mind. So they've had her kidnapped. I can't wait. What if they try to convert her and she starts wearing, like, moody clothes, coming out and she's all somber and everything, and, like, Andre Chase and Duke Hudson have to try and get her back. And eventually, after a few weeks, she puts on the Chase U shirt, and they're like, oh, how do you feel? How'd you feel? She's all, like, somber and everything. And then she's like, ah! Ah! Yay! There's so much you can do. Love it. Thea. Best entrance music. I would say Girl in Cars Strike Force entrance song. Oh, it's a classic. I love Kamala. I'm sorry. I do. I love Kamala. Like the chant, like it fits his character perfect. I just think it's cool. Like that. I love that kind of tribal chanting kind of. I love it when they use like that sort of stuff in dance music as well. I love Kamala's. I've got a real soft spot for that. Real soft spot for it. I mean, DX, DX is goated in it. Everyone loves DX. Undertaker's fitted his character perfect. Shawn Michaels was amazing. I think Bianca's is really good at the moment for something a bit more modern. Really like Bianca's. Crowd are loving Seth's. I ain't crazy about Seth's, to be honest. Doesn't really do it for me, but crowd loves singing it. But something a bit quirky, I'd go Kamala. Love Kamala. You should put Kamala's theme song as the super chat notification. It might get copyrights. I'm not sure. Don't know where we stand with that, to be honest. In comes Andre Chase. I mean, in all fairness, I think it played when the clip used to play before, and there was never any issue then. So I think it's all right. Just got to be a bit careful with it. Andre Chase with the shot to the midsection. We got 13 minutes. And then, of course, guys, don't forget, because you do keep forgetting, the overrun. Yeah. Andre Chase has got looking for like a shot. Figure 4. Figure 4 is what he's gone for. Figure 4. Duke Hudson is down on the outside. Splash by Prince, but he misses. Chop coming in by Andre Chase. Chase goes against the ropes. He just... Andre Chase just called Prince over to him. He had the one like in like this. And then he turned to the other and he was like, come on. Come on, we're doing this spot now. Come on. Chase, Duke. That would be a feedback point. You know when you're in the ring with someone you're meant to be in a fight with? Don't tell them to come on so that you can do your next spot. Over on the top rope. Oh, double knees. 1, 2. Duke Hudson makes the save. Don't put Kamala music. It might give you the copyright strike, says Hayden. I'd say Roman is happy. His undisputed champion and in the run of his lifetime. David is loving the dude love music. Hudson thrown through the ropes to the outsides. Yeah, they're giving this match some time. I suppose it is our main event, isn't it? I mean, the only thing after this is going to be Ding Dong Hello. Oh, give me a C. H A S E U. Chase you. Oh, what's going on? Thea Hale's come running out. She's covered in yellow stickers. They're coming for me, she says. They're coming for me. Andre Chase almost getting the pin. Oh my God, is she all right? She looks terrified. Net breaker. Spilt milk finish for Pretty Deadly. Pretty Deadly gets a victory. Thea Hale has got yellow smiley faces all over her Chase U top. Chase U. I thought we could have done a lot more there with Thea. They're coming, screaming right off. Wow. It doesn't look like she can deal with them on her own, does it, really? Andre and Duke dealing with Thea. Gallus watching on. Drew Gulak and Hank Walker backstage. I'll tell you. Loves his new ring gear. Hank Walker's thinking of taking on Wes Lee next week. Oh, here's Charlie Dempsey. Make sure he doesn't take any shortcuts like you do. There's Bayley. She's got some ding-dong notes. She's walking down the corridor. She has a little look at a picture of herself. She chucks the ding-dong notes away. Bayley, 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 Bayley. Must be so much fun if you're like a big celebrity WWE superstar to go back to NXT. Because I mean, you're just going to have all of the youngsters coming up to you like, oh my God, Bayley, it's amazing. Like, so great to meet you. Can you give me any advice? Ding dong, no. But I bet she loves it. Bet she loves the attention. Daze, should they redo WrestleMania 36? There was no fans and COVID took over. Plus, Drew became WWE champion instead of fans, instead of screen fans. Well, you can't redo it, can you? It's done. The moment in time, it's in the past. I mean, could Drew become champion again? Sure. He could win the title again in front of fans. But that would be a new story, potentially a new opponent, you know. That was a moment in time, and unfortunately, we had no fans there for it at that time. And it sucked. I mean, WrestleMania 36 is... I don't know how it's looked back on, to be honest. It's obviously one of the most interesting WrestleManias ever. Maybe the most. They tried their best. The fact that we got a show at all should be applauded. The fact that they had to pivot as drastically as what they did. When would you ever think that you would see a WrestleMania in front of an empty arena? I think that WrestleMania is not a great WrestleMania if you look at the in-ring. There's some decent moments in there. It's not a complete epic disaster. And at the time, I think we were just really grateful that we were getting a show. But it's not a WrestleMania that I personally go back and revisit. I mean, for me, Boneyard's the pinnacle. And that was recorded outside. It was a cinematic match. But for me, it's the best part of that show. So, I actually don't know what the best in-ring match was, you know. I don't know what the best in-ring match was. I'd have to go back and have a look at the Meltzer ratings. But, yeah, it's done. In the past. We move on. And we move on to Ding Dong Hello. That's what we move on to. Pretty Deadly are a really good team when you look back at the UK run, said Denzel. Jay and Jimmy have a Papa John pizza commercial. Don't have that. At the moment, I've just got a graphic that says WWE. BT Sport. Making me wait. We've got 5 minutes, the normal time in the overrun. What are we going to get in this segment? Because it's... I'm guessing it's toxic attraction. I'm guessing it's going to be like healing, therapy, getting back on the same page. That's what I'm guessing. We've actually thrown over to another football commercial as we're still waiting here to go back. BT Sport. This program contains flesh and images. WWE. BT Sport. Firefly Funhouse match was awesome, said Jadam. Have you ever gone bowling? If you have, where do you bowl? I bowl in Indiana. Have I gone bowling? I've been bowling. I don't go bowling much. I've been bowling less than 10 times in my life. So just different places. There was a place not far from where I lived in Stourbridge. I went a few times when I was young. There was a place in Birmingham where I've been a few times. Really. I've probably been somewhere else as well. I think I went bowling once in Wolverhampton. But I've probably been about 10 times in my life. That's about it. Congratulations to everyone in NXT. Packed house, amazing athletes, incredible events. The future of WWE is bright indeed. Next week, we've got Wes Lee's Open Challenge. That's got to be someone good. I'm thinking that's going to be someone good. Bron Breakker returns next week as well. See what Bron's got to say. Grayson Waller's back next week as well. Roxanne Perez and Miko Satomura taking on Kaden Carter and Katana Chance. Tyler Bates taking on Grayson White. It's a good-looking card, isn't it, actually? Good-looking cards. Tyler Bate. Na, 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 na. Here we go. Ding dong, hello. Yes. Ding dong, door opens, there she is. Bayley in the ring. The ding dong set. A ding dong, hello. Make more noise for Bayley. I'm the ultra role model. Bayley talking about watching Vengeance Day. Toxic Attraction getting their intro. So I'm guessing they'll come out together. They normally do. There was a bit of tension during that match. Ding Dong Hello. I'm ready for the Ding Dong Hello show. Detective Bayley in the house. Here's Gigi. JC. Oh, little glance. Look at the little glances. Apparently they arrive separately. Come on, Bayley. Sort this out, Bayley. JC getting into the ring and having a few words for Gigi. We're looking at the door. They're going to come through the door. Ding dong. Yay! Ding dong, hello. Total pros using the door, says Bayley. Please sit down. Sit down, sit down. Mention. What happened on Saturday? You screwed me out of the NXT Women's Championship. Oh, they're getting at each other. I actually did bowling with my parents. Hayden, you shouldn't bowl your parents. Shouldn't bowl your parents, mate. They're good people, good folk. Can't go chucking them down in a lane just so that you can get a strike. I remember when my parents took me bowling. Oh, my God. That's even worse. They shouldn't go chucking their son down the lane. Another JC Jane excuse. I don't need you. I'm a star on my own. You look like a hobo that banged a Chucky doll. You was on your back staring up at the lights. I call that the JC Jane position. These two are going off, man. You look like a hobo that banged a Chucky doll. One of the best lines that's ever been said in a wrestling ring. Sky is the limit. Jace's plan is to go straight to the top. Don't you think it's easier to get to the top with a ride or die by your side, said Bayley. Okay. Everyone hates me. If everyone hates you, what do they think of me? Oh, I hate you both. You would know better than anyone the strength in numbers. This place is a Shark Tank. I need someone I can trust. They're getting on the same page. The bowling alleys I go to are fun, said Carmen Live, in Indiana. Bowling's all right. I've just never been crazy about it. No lies. No lies. No matter what happens. You will always be my sister. Ah. Is there a swerve coming? This is too nice. We could have one more run. What if we take a run at damage control? Bayley's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. We could have one more run. Hug it out. Oh my God, what they are hugging. Toxic attraction. The happy couple. Da 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 da. Thank you guys. But they're back on the same page. I'm waiting for them to like let. Oh, JC, super kicks, GG. I was waiting. Oh my God, it's happening! Oh, into the ding dong door. The ding dong door. Oh my God, that door did not give as well. Oh man, that looks. Oh, that door. Oh, it's brutal. Gigi's in tears. I can believe she's actually hurt. Look at the door. Gigi got hurled into that door. JC said, this has always been about me. I thought that they were going to super kick Bayley because they'd just spoken about going after damage control. Oh, Gigi, I feel sorry for you, mate. That must have hurt. The ding dong door. It's a barbershop incident. Nice. Nice. Heel turn on a heel. That looked rough. It did look rough. Bad head kick was vicious. I know, yeah. No wonder she's in tears crying. She can't remember her name right now. No more toxic anymore. They split up. You live by the door. You slam by the door. Gigi, the coward, tried to jump through the door. JC had enough, said Janice. Mandy getting fired is who I blame for this, said Jim. Jim, is it a bad day in your household, buds? Was you a toxic attraction, Stan? Oh, Jim. When it comes crashing down and it hurts inside. DWTD Peak, shout out to you. Oh, God, guys. Oh, guys. Toxic attraction and no more. Let's put the poll up. Let's put the poll up. Adam, shout out to you. What do you score NXT? Oh, how are they going to fare on their own? Can't imagine them on their own. Well, I mean, I can. I mean, it's not hard to imagine, but Gigi will do all right. JC on her own. JC on her own? Gonna be all right? God, I just hope they're both all right. I'd imagine Mandy Rose is sat watching this with a tear in her eye. Everything they built, all that toxic attraction goodness, gone, done, over, finiti. That's not even a word. That was HBK and Janetti. That segment was adorable. Justin said, I blame Mandy. Listen, Mandy chose her naked boobs over toxic attraction. That's what's happened. Mandy has looked at the situation and she's gone, do I value toxic attraction or do I value getting my boobs out for the boys? And she valued getting her boobs out for the boys. And in all fairness, making herself a millionaire. And that's the end of toxic attraction, though. I agree. Jim said, I'm only a stan for Rosemary. It is a lovely herb. David said, I am 7.2. Love it, but no more toxic. Crying. Love it. The door wasn't gimmicked. The door wasn't gimmicked. No. She got hurled into that door. It really didn't buckle much. I mean, it needs repairing because there is a split in it. But yeah, I mean, that it wasn't gimmicked, was it? You would imagine that it would be made out of like cardboard or hope, something like that, held together by blue tack, and she'd go crashing through it. Instead, she just went hard into the door. Made for a better moment, though. JC might be lost in the shuffle, but Gigi will be okay. I think Gigi will be all right. I mean, she's Priscilla Kelly. She's been on her own loads on the indies, but don't know much about JC. JC on her own, I just don't know. Mandy chose to expose herself rather than be the leader of the group. He valued that dollar. Well, I mean, listen. If I could get my boobs out and become a millionaire, that's all you would see on these streams. In all fairness. Do you know what I mean? So, it's easy to criticize, but equally, would I do the same? Yeah, certainly I would. You'd see my little boobs bobbing around in the swimming pool. Toxic Attraction was short-lived, like Absolution and Riot Squads. The shows I enjoyed as a kid, Drake and Josh, SpongeBob, the 3 SpongeBob movies, they don't count shows. High School Musical 1 and 2, The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. Don't know that. Is that Cody Rhodes and Zach Gowen? Is that Zack Ryder? Is that The Sweet Life of Zack Ryder and Cody Rhodes? Amazing. Just Nick said, I feel sorry for that door. I wouldn't want a fake ginger thrown at me. Just Nick, shut up. Shut up. You do not come onto these streams spreading lies. You would love a fake ginger being thrown at you. Come on. You would love it. Imagine if I came round your house. Bing bong. Open the door and I just chucked a fake ginger at you. You'd be in floods of tears of joy. Come on, these streams lying. Just Nick. Come on. You're better than that. You're bigger than that. Bigger than that. I mean, you'd be in tears when you found out it was Austin 316 in a wig, but you'd love it. You'd love it. Daze boobs. Absolutely. Absolutely. Nick is full of beep. JC could get another tag member if she goes to the main roster, says Bonkers. Kind of. It doesn't sense, though, that she has split up to get into another tag team. It feels like she's split up so that she can have all the spotlight to herself. That's how it feels. To see, I think we're about to see the two go solo now. I've got kids in my basement. Okay, well, let them out. They might like to see their parents. I prefer real gingers, thank you. Nicole said, I love fake gingers being thrown at me. Oh, I heard some of them. Maybe it's a fake ginger. I'm more worried about the door than GG. Right, we're at... I love me some redheads. I've got to marry one, said Shadam. Listen, shout out to all the gingers, yeah? Fake, real, Ginger Spice, Ginger Rogers, Ginger Baker, Ginger... Red. Shout out to all the gingers. That was JC's version of Ding Dong Ditch. Stay safe out there, said Shadam. NXT tonight. Don't let the door hit your head on the way out, said John. Ginger biscuits. Lovely. Ginger cats. Right, where are we? 1, 2, 9. Hashtag justice for the door. Why is Austin in a wig, and what was he doing before that? Don't ask. Now you've destroyed another team. There's only one proper tag team left, said Bonkers. That's true, actually. When they said, let's have another run and go after Damage Control, I thought they were going to do it. Yeah, I agree. That is true. That is true. I'm surprised that we have split up a proper women's tag team. I agree. The door had better security bolts than my shop, said Eric. Ginger Pubes, said Expert. Yeah, shout out to Ginger Pubes. Hope you're well. Right, let's wrap this baby up. Ginger baby. 7 to 775, 47%. 10 to 8, 30%. 6 to 675, 14%. 575 or below, 6%. 134 votes. And not bad. Yeah. I would probably, yeah. What would I? Oh, it's a tough one. My gut is that I'm in the 6s, not because I didn't enjoy it. Anything in the 6s is still fine. Just don't know if there was any massive moments apart from the end. I mean, the end is a big moment, so maybe that does push it to the 7s. So I think that's fair. 47%, 7 to 75, 30%, 8 to 10. 14% 6 to 675, 6% 575 below. So 20% of people were 6.75 or below. 80% were 7 or above. So, right, lovely. We are done. We're back tomorrow, of course, with AEW. There's also Wrestling Escape Pod tomorrow. That goes up the hour before 11 UK time, 6 o'clock Eastern. That'll go up on the Wrestling Escape Pod channel. That is Elimination Chamber predictions. So we'll talk about Elimination Chamber. It's pretty fun as well. It's pretty good. So we've got that coming up. And we're here for AEW. I think that's everything. Awesome. Appreciate the support. Hope you enjoyed watching NXT. And have a great evening wherever you are. And I will see you again next time. Bye for now.